Hey everyone, XylaTakura here, and I am back with a review. And today I am reviewing Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So, um, wow, okay, where do I start? Five Nights at Freddy's 2 has, I believe, recently come out. So, I've been watching a lot of YouTubers play it, multiple different people to get different reactions and just to go through the game. So I'm gonna review it, and yeah, just let's go. So, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the main thing I found first was that the place is huge, way bigger than in the first Five Nights at Freddy's. You have way more cameras that you need to check to make sure that you can locate our little friends. And the cameras also pan as well, so you have to wait to see if they're in that particular shot or not, which can cost you valuable time, but can obviously be more helpful than just a stationary one, just in case they're in between. So you get a bit more of a view, but waiting for it to pan round can obviously cost you those times. So it's still pretty much even to what it was in the original. You have full power for the cameras this time, rather than having to rely completely on power essentially for everything like the lights and the doors and using the camera and stuff. So that's slightly easier. You only have batteries for the flashlight, which you can use when you're checking the cameras or when you're checking down the hallways or on the vents on the left and right side of your office. There are no doors to protect you, which is probably the first thing people notice as soon as they get into the game, or the first thing they saw in the trailers and things like that. There is no way of locking them out. So that makes it way more of a situation of having to use the cameras to try and keep them at bay as long as possible until you get to 6 a.m. So, on to our lovely little animatronic friends. So, I've counted up how many animatronics there are in this one. So we have the old ones. So we have old Bonnie, old Chica, old Freddy, old Foxy, and Golden Freddy from the old one. Then we also have new Bonnie, new Chica, new Freddy, new Foxy. And we also have two new additions to the family, which are Balloon Boy, as people have been calling him so far, and what appears to be some kind of puppet or mannequin, like a Jack in the Box thing. So all in all together, that is 11 animatronics, or at least 11 enemies. I'm still not sure whether the mannequin and things like that is an animatronic at all, but there are 11 enemies in the game that you have to watch out for. So forget the idea of only having to deal with 5, because you're doubled. You're pretty much screwed this time round. You have way too many things to keep an eye on. So, as for our new friends, the Balloon Boy has the ability that Old Bonnie had in the original game, which was to prevent you from being able to use the lights. Obviously, the old Bonnie was able to prevent you from using the doors and the lights as well. But obviously, because there's no doors, there's no need for that ability. So all Balloon Boy does is disable your ability to use the lights. So Foxy can kill you instantly. Now, as for our puppin, mannequin, Jack in the Box, whatever you'd like to call him, as for that little friend of ours, he is connected to a music box in one of the rooms on the right side of the building. And I believe the second camera on the right side of the building, farthest to the right. In that room is a music box that you have to constantly keep wound up to prevent him from coming in, because once the music box starts to play, you have, I'd say, about 30 seconds before the mannequin will literally jump out of the corridor and kill you instantly. It will do the same kind of animation as Foxy would do. Foxy just dives into the room and kills you. The mannequin Jack in the Box puppet thing does the same thing. But he's much more dangerous, considering no matter what you're doing, whether you've got the mask up, whether you're checking the cameras, he just comes in, done, gone, straight out the window. So you definitely have to keep an eye on him. As for the original animatronics that we all know, the old and the new, I really like the art style for both the old and the new ones. I love how the old ones seem to be way more run down, decrepit, especially Bonnie with not having most of his face makes it completely creepy. Chica having the jaw seems to be much more wide, and overall the old characters just stand out way more than they did before. So I'm actually quite happy they've had a bit of a revamp, because although they were pretty creepy in the first one, I think they've been defined way more for the second one. The new animatronics are cute to the point of being creepy, which obviously is great as well, and you can tell the difference between them completely. So when a cutesy looking animatronic kind of wanders into the room, that's just as creepy as the original ones, which we know to be creepy. So, as for protecting yourself, as there's no doors, you have been given a Freddy Fazbear head to pop on. So, whenever any of them pop into the room, all you have to do is pop the mask on, wait for them to go, and you'll be fine. As long as you do it in time. There is such a small gap between you having to pop the helmet on. It's unreal. The amount of people that have put it on just a second too late and died is a very difficult line to follow. You have to be so quick on the trigger. Another thing that has been uncovered is occasionally after you die, or once you finish a night shift, or you're about to start one, we get very interesting little scenes of. They're either pixelated kind of scenes where you use WASD to kind of move your character, or we have like a sort of cutscene where you're in the position of Freddy on the stage and you kind of pan left and right, and you'll notice that Bonnie and Chica are standing beside you. Sometimes they're looking directly at you, sometimes they're not. And occasionally you'll have Freddy come into the mix. He'll kind of like position himself in front of you, or you'll end up with the mannequin that'll actually follow you around. So they kind of had like a creepy mix, as well as at the end when it comes up and says, "It's me," which everybody can remember from the first one. As for the pixelated ones, which are I find much more interesting. As you're playing some of them in the background, you'll hear like strange, like murmured, robotic sounds, which I think are like that. It sounds like they're pronouncing letters, and that if you put them together, they make a sentence. But occasionally it'll just either fade to black, or you'll have one of the animatronics jump out, and Golden Freddy is one of them. I haven't seen much on Golden Freddy myself. On one of the YouTubers I was watching, Golden Freddy appeared on night 6 for him, and you'll hear him another person saw him in one of the like little pixelated scenes where he kind of jumped out. So if I find out any secrets for you guys, I'm definitely gonna let you know. As for my personal opinion on the game, I'm really impressed with what he's done. He's definitely gone a step further in making this game way more challenging, way more creepy, and there's so many more secrets into the game. In fact, one secret I thought that was very interesting was night 5, when you get your paycheck, you actually get to see the date. I'm not sure whether anybody's actually got to that point, whether you've seen the date or not, but the date actually says 1987, which is years before the first one. And obviously the fact that the phone guy has been contacting you throughout your shifts, that kind of, you put those two together and you realise that you were the guy that sorted out the night shifts before the phone guy, and then you play the guy after the phone guy's died who does the shifts. So that's quite an interesting line for the story that's definitely going to have a lot of questions and mystery surrounding it for the rest of the game to follow. But going back to my overall view, Really like the look of the characters and the animatronics. It's way more tense with 11 enemies after you, no doors, you've got to just check your cameras and put the mask on. And for me, the secrets and the stories behind it all, it's kind of, this one's kind of piecing together bits and pieces, is it like putting jigsaw puzzles together of helping us to understand how these animatronics kind of became these like walking creatures that wanted to kill people, and now we've got like extra characters added to the story. It's like, what happened to them if Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is the prequel to Five Nights at Freddy's? You know, where did they go? What happened to them? How are they being controlled? What's the creepy mannequin for? What's Balloon Boy there for? You know, all of these questions just add way more depth to a story that doesn't really answer all of its questions, which is, I think it's quite interesting the way it does it, which definitely makes it a unique horror game. And that's just without the gameplay of the Five Nights at Freddy's itself. So overall, it's a great game. I definitely think you should check it out. I know it's on Steam at the moment, and I believe it's like £5 or something. Yeah, I'd definitely go and buy it and give it a try. I've just got to wait for a PC now. Yeah, overall, great game. I'm very impressed with what he's done. He's made a brilliant jump from 1 to 2. So, thank you all for listening to me babble on about a very good game. And if you've not seen it, definitely go and check it out. Search it up on YouTube. Go off and play it yourself. Go and have a ball. If anyone comes back with any secrets before I can find them, tell me, and I will. It'd be nice to hear what everyone else's opinions are. So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, etc. And I will be back with some more reviews in the near future. Until then, take care everybody.